By invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Please listen carefully.
She's as funny as Lucy and she's in the know. She's as smart as Phil and always on the go. It's the Patsy Hoolahan Show.
Mr. President, millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country, the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Well, leaders in cities like Chicago doubling down, insisting that they will not cooperate with deportations. Chicago police saying state law does not allow them to aid immigration agents. So let's bring in News Nation's Alex Cabriello, who is live for us in Chicago. Alex, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has been outspoken against the president's new orders. What is he saying?
Yeah, Governor Pritzker has struck the same tone over the last few days ever since news broke that Chicago might be one of the very first sanctuary cities where we see ICE agents actually perform those mass deportations. The governor says that he'll continue to protect immigrant rights regardless of their actual immigration status, and that he believes that what the federal authorities are doing all across the nation is both unconstitutional and unlawful. One official speaking anonymously over the weekend said federal immigration officers will target some 300 immigrants right here in the city of Chicago that have criminal backgrounds. At the same time, we're seeing immigration advocacy groups actually go ahead and try to share advice that they might have with undocumented immigrants here in Chicago.
You know, I don't think it was right for the last administration to encourage so many people to come over here to this country. It's sort of inhumane when we don't even have the resources. Look at them. They're having to sleep outside in the cold, and we don't have the food, and we don't have the places to stay or the resources. You know, it's about time something happened.
All right, so he is making some big promises here. I want to ask you about what people are saying on the ground there in Chicago. We know this is a Dem-led city. We know there are a lot of, Democrat voters in that town. Are you hearing people come around on these policies, seeing the problems that city has had?
Well, here's the thing that people, I think, fail to understand about Chicagoans is that most of us are not okay with what is happening. Most of us are not okay with the migrant crisis. And in spite of what you may hear our mayor and Governor Pritzker say about how Chicagoans feel or where we stand, we are not happy about what is happening here. So we're excited that President Trump is in office. We are excited that Tom Homan and his team is coming here to help us out of this mess that our mayor and governor seem to be content on keeping us in.
Yeah, but on that point, the governor of your state says that Trump's scaring people. So is that true?
No, not at all. Not at all. And let me tell you something. I think that what has to happen, and not that I want to help the Democrats at all, but keep in mind, people either voted overwhelmingly for Trump or they stayed home. And the fact that people did that, those 4 people who stayed home and didn't show up to vote, it was still an attack on that party, on that Democratic Party. You had triple the number of people who did not show up to vote this election. So that should say to you, people are not happy with this. So in spite of what you may hear our governor say, the people are quite okay with what's happening.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Joe Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction. And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by sanctuary jurisdictions, no longer a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
Well, everyone seems to have an opinion on this subject, and it's a very sad situation that we got there ourselves, and we'll just have to see what happens. And you know, I only wish well for anybody who's come here looking for a better life and who's been in a bad situation. But you know what? There's only so much that can be done at one time. It's got to be done in order. Oh my gosh.